friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing on decorating our Honeyglow Woods, moving into the Gloommeadow. My goal for this biome is to make it feel peaceful like a walk in the park and to create a place that would make Eeyore feel comfortable. And speaking of which, I wanted to give his house a little extra comfort, so I will be jazzing up his pile of sticks into his own makeshift willow tree. I can definitely appreciate Gameloft for staying true to Eeyore's original house design, but it did admittedly make me sad to see his house compared to Pooh, Piglet, and even Tigger's massive tree houses. So if you are ready to get some ideas for decorating the Gloommeadow, then keep on watching. We'll of course begin with the item list, and a little note on that, there's definitely a lot more foliage and landscaping at play in comparison to actual items, so this will be a very natural build. I'm going to first start with Eeyore's house using these rough cut ranch beams from Wish Blossom Ranch. I'm making a fake tree trunk with it, so I'm gonna curve it so that it looks a little bit like Eeyore's house is sheltered inside of the hollow of a tree. This is where a bit of forced perspective comes in, so we'll use two willow trees from the Elements of Nature's star path to make up the top part of our fake tree shelter, placing them near the front beams and having it face backwards. Just pay close attention to the footprints as I am placing them. You will see a majority of the leaves actually hang behind the beams, but I just want that front bit to sit and have a little bit of it hanging over. I placed two more beams behind the curved structure on each side just to eliminate the large gap between the beams and the willow trees. That way when you walk around Eeyore's house, it won't look so jarring. For an extra touch, but definitely not necessary, I put a natural wooden pergola corner post, and this was a premium shop item, but this is just for the aesthetics. I'll only use the new driftwood path under his house, and then I will surround the tree with these rocky terrain paths. You'll have heard me say this on the last video, but the footprints of all of the new trees and bushes are pretty bad, so I try to squeeze in some of the new foliage around the tree the best that I can, and the pink bush is when you unlock the last area of Honeyglow Woods. Do all of this first before placing some mossy stone fencing from Storybook Vale to create a circle around everything. And just a side note, you'll want to double check that Eeyore's house is facing the right way, which I know there is no way to tell exactly, but if it is backwards, then he may get trapped inside. So for that, you can just flip it, or later on I usually take a fence away from the back just to let him escape if he ever gets trapped. I will say this is where I started settling the theme of this biome, so I envisioned a lot of gazebos and a curved walkable path to make this area feel like a park. So starting with the gazebo, I placed it at an angle and I'll surround it with some of these bushes. I do go back to using the normal bushes from the base game instead of those other green bushes that I just used because of the footprint. But with the new pink bush, I will create a circle around the gazebo and a gap for the entrance. Since you will need to do this at least 4 more times, I would suggest you make this a preset. Afterwards, I place an identical one on the left side. This being a landscaping heavy build, we'll go in with some small trees and then this giant pond placed at an angle on both sides. I'm going to use the alpine cobblestone road to create these windy paths going all over the biome. I am being strategic with how I place it using the staircase method, and I do have a separate video explaining exactly how I do these paths on my channel. So first I'll just have this lead to the bridge entrance before diverting into different directions. Where the paths meet, I just put down an old windmill, and you will need to have at least 3 more of these for later. Now I look at what I've done so far from the front, and I'm going to add some more bushes, once again using the pink ones and switching between the Forest of Valor bushes and the new ones depending on the footprint. I'll add just a couple more of these Scots pine trees as well. Further up the biome, I'll add another gazebo, and since we made it at an angle, I'm going to have to adjust it so that it is facing the path directly. And right in that corner, I will add another gazebo, and I really just like this gazebo if you can't tell, but it did take a bit of grinding, but that's all I have been doing lately. I'll continue that pathing, curving it to the Braveheart biome entrance. I'm going to add this little slide here just for a little area for Eeyore to play and brighten up the gloomy biome. I will say that a lot of these new items were made in mind for the other 2 biomes, so a lot of people have told me that these items don't really seem to be made for Eeyore. So I'm going to use a lot of these brighter items for this biome just to make it feel a little bit less gloomy. I'm going to add some patchwork picnic items and using more driftwood paths to lead to the individual gazebos. Now those rocky terrain paths that I used for Eeyore's house, I thought it would be nice to scatter them around the ground for some more texture. I like to tuck them underneath some of the items and have them stick out at an angle, and I will just do that everywhere. I added another large pond, making sure I could squeeze between it and the gazebo to access that rock node. I'll also add a honey topiary, and with that a honey farm and some flowers to continue making some honey. This whole back is where I'm going to continue to add some trees and some more decorations, and I'm not afraid to add yellow trees in this biome because I think that there is already some integrated in the biome landscape and we don't have to limit ourselves to making everything blue and gloomy. So adding the yellow really adds a nice pop of color. I've also used this Christopher Robin swing, and this is actually not in the landscaping, but rather it is something that you have to craft. And I added to this little playground that we made and a driftwood path leading to the water. I wanted to add some of these woodland pot fountains as well. I think they're just so cute and add to the tranquil vibe that I'm trying to create. Pivoting back to the entrance of the biome, and this is a small part connected by 2 bridges to the larger piece of land, so I'm just going to make this a designated well area, again dominating it with landscaping. I'll start with a small roundabout and then create winding paths leading to all of the entrances and exits. Again, not a lot of items are being used here. I do add another windmill and a bench, using larger trees to fill in the back and letting the bushes do all of the work to frame the pathing. I'll put in one last gazebo and create another patchwork seating area. Everything you'll see now is pretty repetitive from what I've done before, just the same deal of clutter decorating with trees and bushes and adding rocky terrain and driftwood paths to the ground. So the last bit that I do is I use these new craftable lanterns, and in night mode I'm going to go in and add some lighting. It doesn't do too much for the biome, but just having little pops of light here and there will help when you're playing in the evening or nighttime. I also felt this biome was fitting for some fireflies, so if you have them, I would pop them into a few places as well. And once you've done that, then you will be done. so much for watching the speed build and walkthrough. I hope this gives you some ideas for EEYORE'S house and for the entirety of the Gloommeadow. I will say it was a bit harder getting ideas for this biome since a lot of the new items seem very centered towards Drowsy Bloom Acre or the Braveheart biome, but I like the calm and peaceful vibe that I created here. It's pretty easy to navigate with the curved pathing, and it uses way more foliage and landscaping than actual items, making it more accessible to build. I can't wait to continue building in the Honeyglow Woods and creating a completely decorated DLC full of coziness. If you liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!